I knew there were things that my family didn't want to talk about. They'd get to, when I say they, I mean the adults, would get to a certain point in a story and then stop. And I've always wanted to know why. I want to know what makes me me. Why do I react to things in particular ways? Why do I behave in certain ways? I think that's the same for all of us, is that it must have something to do with where we come from and inherited behavioural patterns. Often, in fact, my mother would say that I was very much like my grandfather, and he was a bit of a one. I think that's quite frightening. God.
You feel nervous about it?
Yeah, I'm terrified. I'm terrified.
Actress Amanda Redman lives in West London with her teenage daughter, Emily.
Right, I'm off. Be good. No, you be good. And what do? Feed the cat.
She's going on a journey to uncover the truth about her family.
When we were children, there were things that we didn't need to know. We as kids could hear the grown-ups talking about something, and then the minute we happened to come into the room, it was all and silence. And if there were any arguments between family members, again, we weren't privy to it, ever. It was kept from us.
The first stage of her journey is to visit her mother, Joan, in Brighton, where Amanda was born.
She was the rock of the whole family, my mum. And still is, indeed.
She wants to find out about her grandfather, William, Joan's father, who died in 1968 and may hold the key to the family secrets.
Hello, stranger. Hello. Oh, darling. How are you? Hello. I can't see your face behind there. Aren't you supposed to be talking?
No, just make the tea.
This most funny. I've never been in a position like this with things sticking out. I want to stick out my tongue at you. Go.
Don't shake too much with that, Mother.
No.
Thanks. Tell me just roughly about your childhood. Describe it.
Describe it? Well, it was, as I know now, it wasn't a normal, happy childhood, but of course I didn't know that at the time. So I was born in India in a place called Quetta, then on to Allahabad and other places in between.
Did you stay long in these places?
As long as my father was there, because in the army you're moved around, but yes.
Because he was in the Indian Army?
That's right. He was a very strict disciplinarian, very strict. And everybody was in awe of him, frightened of him.
When you say everybody, who do you mean by everybody?
Well, the family, the boys. I mean, his word was law, and you just had to be, couldn't do anything wrong. We were frightened of him.
Did he used to hit the boys?
Yes.
But he didn't, not the girls?
Yes, He did. When he was angry, he was angry. He had a drink problem. They all drank very heavily. It was the way of life. He'd go to the mess after he'd finished work and not come back until he was, plastered, really.
And then if something displeased him, was that when he'd take
Yes,
it out?
the servants, everybody used to fly away, scatter, really.
Do you think he had affairs?
I didn't want to answer these questions. I'm getting cross now. Don't ask me that.
I've never asked you that.
Of course he had affairs. He was that sort of a man. Yes, he did.
Did you feel angry towards him ever?
I hated him.
Did you?
Yes, we all did.
And so when did you...
I can speak for the others too. I know they all hated him. I'm getting upset.
I know.
Oh, I'm silly.
Have a cup of tea. I know.
William and his wife Agnes Annie had 5 children. Sirill, Frances, Joan, Amanda's mother, Tony, and Charmian.
Oh, how lovely to see you. Oh, did you have a good journey?
Oh, yeah, brilliant, yeah.
Hi, Tony.
Hello. Hi, Mandy. Great to see you again. We always give...
Tony, Joan's younger brother, has come over from Portugal for a visit. He has vivid memories of their father.
When he'd come home from work, in the arsenal where we lived for some time, a siren would go off at 5 o'clock.
Air raid siren.
Yeah, we'd, oh no, a feeling
Daddy's
of dread
coming
would come
home.
on us and we would hide.
When do you first remember him beating Nanny? I mean,
I can remember that right from a little girl, Royal Pindy.
Royal Pindy.
Yeah.
she was so little. She was under 5 foot, and
5 foot,
and Grandad was over 6 foot.
6 foot.
I mean,
And 18 stone at one time. He could put his hands round her waist and with his fingers touching. She was tiny.
so tiny.
In fact, she was offered to return to England at one stage because of the problem my father had. So the army offered to bring us back to England.
That's right, yes, but she wouldn't
wouldn't
do
leave it.
that, no.
The army in India were aware of the situation.
Yes, very much so.
And they offered Nanny to go with you, presumably, to come home to England.
That's right.
Gosh.
To get us away from him.
It's dangerous.
Where did Nanny and Grandad meet?
My mother was in the Women's Army, Wax, was it called?
It was called, yeah.
And they met at a dance.
In the First World War?
Yes,
yeah.
First World War.
Your grandfather went to India first, and my mother followed on with Sirill, who was born in Falmouth. And then they stayed in India until such time they came over for a leave when Tony was born.
And Sirill would have been what age?
10.
Did Sirill go back to India with you?
No, that was it. He didn't go back to India.
But you didn't question why he didn't come back with you?
No.
Not even in your own minds?
Oh, in our own minds, yes, but we daren't ask.
It was taboo.
Yes.
For some reason, my father had cut him out when he was 10, left him behind in Falmouth.
And then he disappeared.
I was fairly shocked at what they had to say. It just seems such an extraordinary amount of awful things to happen to a group of people, and I think, well, their lives have been so affected by all this.
William was in the Indian Army from 1919 to 1939. Amanda's retrieved his army records for this period from the Indian office at the British Library.
Offence. Drunkenness. Shouldn't laugh. Oh, in that he at Rawalpindi on the 11th of September 1932 was drunk. Full stop. Yeah. Severely reprimanded was his punishment. More drunkenness, or...
Amanda's taking them to social historian Catherine Hall, who specialises in Britain's imperial past. She wants to know more about how the army could have shaped William's character.
I think it's very interesting that because my grandfather was drunk and very abusive, very, very violent towards my grandmother and the children, that the army actually offered my grandmother to bring her home with the children.
He must have been seriously demonstrating and showing that he was a problem, because the levels of drunkenness in the Indian Army were very high.
And why was that? Why were the levels of drunkenness?
Well, it was a very enclosed kind of life, and one of the really striking things about British rule in India is how small, really, that British Army garrison was. So white officers and people like your grandfather, a non-commissioned officer but with authority over a lot of Indians, were very much in the front line. You know, the defended white man holding on to the power of the Raj.
Quite scary, I would
Yes,
feel then.
it's distinctly scary, distinctly scary. You've got some of the records saying that he's seriously reprimanded for drunkenness and so on. His superior officers are exercising their power over him. You know, he can exercise his power presumably over the troops and over his wife and children. I think in some ways, you see, the less power men have in the world outside, the more they need to exercise it inside the sanctum of the home.
In 1928, William abandoned 10-year-old Sirill in Falmouth. His brothers and sisters never saw him again. Recently, Amanda's cousin Trevor, Tony's son, has been trying to uncover traces of their missing Uncle Sirill.
People. I want to know how you started it all.
The first stage was to check all the birth records through the library, while looking for a Sirill Harrington, and found absolutely nothing at all.
So there is no evidence of his birth at all, anywhere?
I've not managed to find it. I thought, I'll try the birth angle, I'll look at the death angle, and went through every death record I could find from 1970 right through to the year I found him, which was 1984. And I found a Sirill Harrington, basically, in Liverpool.
Oh, wow.
The certificate turned up, and it confirmed born Falmouth, seaman. I think he died of a heart attack, I'm not sure.
But you know what really interests me about all this? Is that Nanny and Grandad got married in 1919.
That's true.
He was born in 1919.
18. I can check it for me too, I've got it written down. Where did I write it down? I've got it written down somewhere. Hang on. The death certificate mentions his birth date, so that's prior to them marrying.
Oh, wow. No, you see, that's... So he was already born when they got married.
Correct. At that stage, having found Sirill, before I did anything else, I went to Falmouth to visit the St Ledgers.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I went to Falmouth. I met the whole family, basically. And evidence seems to show that he was definitely illegitimate.
Gosh.
Everyone in Falmouth knew he was. It wasn't a secret.
Does anybody know who his father could possibly be?
There's no definitive evidence
Right.
to show who his father was.
William didn't just abandon Sirill. He cut off all links with the St Ledgers, his wife's family in Falmouth.
My nan was never allowed to mention her family. Consequently, my mum knew next to nothing about them, therefore never talked to them, and then never really talked to us about them. So the clues to all of this are with these people down here.
Until now, Amanda has never met any of her Cornish relatives. Trevor's given her a St Ledger contact, Desmond, the second cousin who knew Sirill when he was a baby.
Hello.
Hello, Amanda, darling. How lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. Really nice to meet you.
Desmond St Ledger McCarthy, one of your vintage, you know, is my old banner.
Oh, it's lovely. Thank you.
Come on, darling.
Thank you very much.
I don't drive very fast, so you'll have to Be patient.
Oh, that's fine. Well, we've got so much to talk about. That gives us the time to do it.
Yes, I knew Sirill. Of course, he was your uncle, wasn't he, Sirill?
He was my uncle,
Yes.
that's
He was a
right.
very good-looking baby, you know.
Was he?
Yes. Unfortunately, he had a very, almost a traumatic boyhood.
Yes, tell me about that. Because because you knew
Well-
my grandmother very well, didn't
Oh, yes.
you, from before?
I knew Aunt She was my Aunt Agnes, you see.
Right.
And, are those cars lined up there? No, I think we're all right, aren't we?
I think we're okay. We can go
Right,
straight.
yeah.
Yes.
He had a dreadful life as a boy. He went to a reform school, as you know.
He went
You
to a
see-
reform
Oh,
school.
yes, he had some. He got into trouble somehow with the police over a train business, something to do with trains. It was, and in those days, of course, reform schools were pretty horrible
Pretty
places.
horrible. Did he take after his mother?
He was very much like his mother, you see. She lived on the surface of life. She was full of life. You know?
Because what I remember about my grandmother is of somebody very timid, very shy, very quiet. Of Annie. This is what I remember about
Oh,
her.
she wasn't shy. She was very outgoing. Oh,
Really?
Gracious me. Nothing shy about Annie. She joined the Wax. She was one of her favourite expressions was "Oh la la."
Oh, really?
Yes, that was one of her expressions. "Oh la la."
God, I think that's amazing.
She left your great grandmother to care for poor old Sirill, and that is 38 Wodehouse Terrace. They had no money. The three of them shared that room there. Oh, they'll just get away, won't they? Who cares?
He must have felt so rejected when my grandfather and Annie, my grandmother, left him here in Falmouth after India.
You've got to go back, Amanda, in time. You see, in those days, an illegitimate was almost a pariah.
Yes, of course.
You know, today, I mean, we accept it.
Doesn't mean anything.
No problem.
Absolutely.
But almost a pariah in those days, you know. And, you know, people would look down on an illegitimate child.
Of course, and on Annie, presumably, for being the mother.
Oh, yes. I'm afraid she wasn't held in great regard or esteem by her aunts.
No, I'm sure.
Oh, no.
Or the community, presumably, because people would have known, would they not, that he was illegitimate?
Oh, yes.
Desmond's keen for Amanda to meet an old school friend of Cyril's.
Are you Frank?
Yeah, I'm Frank.
I'm Amanda.
Oh, yeah, I see
Hello.
that.
Hello, Frank. How are we?
Lovely, you?
Frank and Sirill were best friends until they joined the Merchant Navy at 14.
He came to our school, then to the Wellington Terrace, that's just down the back here.
Yeah.
And I used to sit here, and he used to sit just on my shoulder, you know.
Did he?
Of course, he was a damn nuisance, really.
Was What was he like, Sirill? Tell me what he was like.
He was a rip. He was a rip.
Was he?
Well, we used to call him a rip, really. You know the story about the trains? They said 4 boys
over
took a
14
train
did.
and drove to Penryn, wasn't it?
Yes.
4 boys took a train?
Yeah. and-
Cyril being one of them?
Yeah, and they drove it up to Penryn.
Oh, that did happen, did it?
Yeah.
That did happen.
It happened, yeah. Because the trains was always down on the station, all lit up and everything. I suppose he was one of them who would say, "Oh, let's have a go," and touch the lever, and away they went.
He does sound such a character.
They were pity we didn't have a few of these people around today.
But who gave Cyril the name of Hindu?
No, that's what I was wondering. He must have had it before he come here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when I said, "What do you call?" he said, "Hindu." I didn't know his first name.
But you didn't serve with Cyril. Didn't go onto the same ship as you.
No, that's where we partied.
That's where you parted.
I went to sea, and he must have gone to sea just after me.
Amanda wants to know how Cyril, without a birth certificate or any kind of documentation, managed to join the Merchant Navy.
Hello, John.
Hello, how are you?
Nice
Lovely to see you.
John Bernard runs the Merchant Seamen's Association in Falmouth.
The thing that we found so frustrating and also quite difficult to understand is that there was no documentation about him, so there was no birth certificate, and we thought, well, without a birth certificate, how could he have got a passport, for instance? Wouldn't you need a passport?
No, discharge book. It's listed every ship and every trip you ever did.
Oh, I
That
see.
was our passport.
And you wouldn't need a birth certificate to get one of those?
No. I walked into Southampton just before I was 16, paid £half, and I was a merchant seaman. It was definitely a very harsh way of living. You know, you're talking long hours and low pay.
Yes.
And that introduced the type of person who was unemployable ashore.
Unemployable? Why would they be unemployable?
You know, getting away from problems ashore.
Yeah.
A lot of undiagnosed mental illness and that type of thing. People who definitely were questionable, to say the least.
Right.
So you've got to get away from the idea of talking about normal people. Merchant seamen were always a breed apart.
Okay.
And they were proud of that.
When Sirill went to sea in 1933, the British commercial fleet was the largest in the world. He was just 14 years old, one of many underage sailors who saw the merchant navy as an escape from a difficult home life. Outside the local pub, Desmond and Amanda bump into yet another member of the St Ledger family.
Lovely to see you as well.
Lovely lady, you know.
And you're a St Ledger as well?
Yeah.
Christine St Ledger has heard about Amanda's search and has something to show her.
Now this you might be interested in. I'm wondering whether that is your grandmother. Oh gosh. That is as the terrace used to be here. They used to live in here. And then you know that Sirill has got a son here.
I didn't
Swept off the carpet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Sirill had a son who was called Derek.
And so who is the mother of Derek?
Hilda Dalton. She lives out on the Manor estate, so I don't know.
And that's Derek's mother?
That's Derek's mother. She was a married lady.
She was
and everybody used to say, but nobody, it was always out of the earshot of the kids, or at least they thought.
Because people didn't speak about all of this, did they?
No.
You did.
You had 13-month babies in those days.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely extraordinary. This lady comes up to me and Christine St Ledger, so she's obviously a relation of some kind, and tells me that the lady with whom Sirill obviously had the affair, who's called Hilda, is in this area. The plot thickens. Oh gosh, wish me luck. Here we go.
Stop it.
Hello. You Hilda?
No, I'm Diane.
Oh, you're Diane. Hello, Diane. Very, very nice to meet you. Hello, I'm Amanda. Hello.
My dog is very
meet you. I'm Amanda.
And you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Ooh. I hope you don't mind me coming to see you.
No, I'm pleased.
I'm on this mission to find out as much as I can about my uncle Sirill.
Yes.
Because we don't know, my part of the family don't know what happened to him.
No.
Once he arrived back in Falmouth.
Well, I was about 18, I suppose, when I met him first, and every time he came into Falmouth, I used to see him.
And then did you have a love affair with him? And how long did that go on for?
Oh, I don't know. About 10 years, I think, really.
About 10 years?
About 10 years, yes.
Tell me about him. What was he like?
He was, well, proper romantic, really. He was fair-haired, with fair wavy hair and dark brown eyes. Yes, very handsome.
And good fun?
Oh, yes, good fun he was. Yes, good fun. Yeah.
Did he ever tell you about his childhood and what?
No.
Really?
He didn't talk a lot about it. He didn't say anything about his father and mother or anything like that, because the grandmother reared him.
Did he have a clue who his father was?
He didn't say so.
He never said.
Well, in those days we didn't ask questions when we went out with a boy, did we? See? We didn't ask questions and say, well, who's your mother and who's your father and so forth.
And he didn't volunteer the
No,
information.
and he didn't
either.
volunteer it, see.
Do you ever think that he felt bitter about his childhood?
Well, I think he wanted someone to cling on to.
Did you know about Derek?
Oh, yes. He saw Derek up to the time he was 10, and that was the last time.
And why was that the last? Why?
Well, my husband then took Derek on, and of course, Sirill had to go out the picture.
How did he react to that? Was he heartbroken?
Well, I think he was at the time, but he wasn't one to show anything like that, really. He didn't show. He was used to it, I suppose.
We would have liked to have found out where Sirill was, because my brother was terminally ill. At 40, he was diagnosed with emphysema, and he didn't come down from the bedroom after his 40th birthday.
Oh, that is really sad. Yeah, that's really
He had
sad.
it really bad.
Yes, he died at 48, you see.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
So when Hilda finally chose to stay with her husband, she had to end her affair with Sirill. As a result, Sirill never saw his son Derek again after the age of 10. The same age he was when he was abandoned by his stepfather, William.
So Falmouth was utterly fascinating, and so we found out a lot about Sirill when he was younger. We met one of his best mates from school.
Yes.
We met a lady that he had a passionate love affair with, and the result of that passionate love affair was a son, Derek.
What was she like?
Lovely. She was really lovely, and she reminded me actually of Nanny.
Really?
Yes, she really reminded me of this sort of quiet lady, very, very sweet.
Was she bitter at all?
Nope, not at all. When we were down in Falmouth, a lady just walked up to me in the street, and she introduced herself as Christine St. Ledger, and she said, and this is a photograph of your grandmother, taken, must be 1901. Right.
What an incredible photograph.
Isn't it fantastic?
That looks like her. Oh, look at the costume.
Isn't it brilliant?
That's a fabulous. Oh, how lovely.
Isn't it gorgeous?
And who was this lady?
One of your relations. Well, one of our relations, Christine St. Ledger Brown. There were so many St. Ledgers down there. It's full. Cornwall is just full of St. Ledgers. I mean, it's a huge extended family. Huge. It's absolutely massive. And the memories that they came up with are incredible. I mean, really.
It's amazing.
Extraordinary. These people that I've never met or even heard of.
Amanda wants to know more about her newfound family in Cornwall, the St. Ledgers.
My second cousin, whom I haven't met, called Val, a lady called Val, has done a lot of research on the St. Ledger family. And so I've come back down to Falmouth to talk to her and see what she can tell me.
Hello. Would you like to go to the lounge?
Thank you. I always used to say to my mum, when I'd say, she'd say her name was Joan Beryl's St. Ledger, and I'd say, oh, that is such a weird name.
Yes,
St. Ledger.
St. Ledger.
I mean, it's where, and she said, well, your grandmother was from Cornwall.
Your great-grandmother, Father James, came from New Ross in County Waterford. The roots are pretty deep-seated in Ireland. I think there are generations of St. Ledgers in Ireland, and they've done some marvellous things. I mean, the St. Ledger horse race, that could well have started from a part of our family. I actually went to what we believed was the family home in Doneraile Court. This is a book that I've managed to get hold of called St Ledger, The Family and the Race.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And
from start to finish.
Wow.
There is a link somewhere, I'm sure, because there aren't that many of them, and the families branch out, and we're fairly sure that there is a link there somewhere.
St Ralph, St Ledger. Oh, marvellous. Titled. Oh, goodness me. That's blown me away.
Amanda's great-great-grandfather, James St Ledger, came over to England in the 1850s. He was a mariner, plying the trade routes between Cornwall and Ireland. In Ireland, Amanda wants to find out if James St Ledger was an aristocrat and part of the St Ledger family who owned the magnificent Doneraile Court.
Excuse me, could you tell me where Doneraile Court is, please?
You mean the park, is it?
It's that.
Boy, you can't go in that way, no, that gate is locked. Go down to the bottom of the town.
Yeah.
And go over the river.
Yeah.
And the first turning into the right.
Thank you very much indeed.
You can't get in that way.
Okay, thank you. Did you get that? There was always a rumour going around in the family that we did have some sort of castle in Ireland, but I just never believed that. I would like to have believed it. Very grand. Look at the grounds. Hello.
How are you?
Seamus Crowley
Hello,
here.
Seamus. Amanda Redman.
Yeah, I'm a retired civil servant.
She won the polls, didn't she?
I wish I had, really.
Yeah.
So, gosh.
So you're welcome to Doneraile. Doneraile, anyway.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And those are the gardens, of course.
All the gardens there, yeah, they have lovely gardens.
That's beautiful.
So we can go through here. This is one of the highlights of the house, and if you look at the ceiling up at the top.
I've got to look at that, it's fantastic. Oh, look at the plasterwork up there. And these windows.
The St Ledgers who owned Doneraile Court were wealthy Protestant landowners of Norman descent. They're the same family who founded the classic horse race, which is held every year in Doncaster.
I'm on my way to the Church of Ireland in New Ross, which is where my great-great-grandfather's records will be. They're all held in churches in Ireland. Now, I'm assuming that because it's called the Church of Ireland, it's a Protestant church, because we're all Protestants. And when I get to the church, and I'm going to look up all the records so that I can find out more about his background.
You're very welcome to St Mary's.
Thank you.
Come on in.
Well done.
What's that one now?
I'm looking for James St Ledger, who was my great-great-great-grandfather.
James St Ledger.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the records we found one James St Ledger here, born in 1835, January the 7th. James, father John, mother Mary St Ledger, occupation servant, and address New Ross.
Do you have a record of John St Ledger, James's father?
So there was a confirmation here for the charter school in 1826. So we don't have a baptism, which would imply that he was not originally from this parish.
Did you say something about charter school?
Yes, there was a school here in New Ross called the Charter School for Children of the Parish. The person we have who has information and has done quite a lot of research on this is a Mrs. Jennifer Nuttall.
Jenny?
Hello.
Hello, I'm Amanda.
Hello, nice to meet you.
This was the Charterhouse School?
Yes, this was the charter school.
What sort of children would go to this school?
destitute, orphan children.
And this was a
And
Protestant.
this was a Protestant school for Protestant children.
Because it's interesting, yesterday when I went to the Church of Ireland, I found,
Yes.
I was looking for my great-great-grandfather, James St. Ledger, and I found a record of his birth,
yes,
along with lots of his siblings as well. But then his parents, John and Mary, I couldn't find any record for John's birth, but what I
Yes.
did find was a record of his confirmation out of the Charterhouse School.
I see. Well, of course, it would be well worth looking up in the Roman Catholic records.
So what would happen is, if someone was born a Roman Catholic, they could then be converted to...
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, this would have happened. I mean, one thing they felt they were going to... It was a much better thing to be a nice little Protestant boy. Second of all, I think genuinely they felt their chances in life were better if they were Anglican of the established church. I mean, they would get better jobs. A lot of English settled employers would have wanted to have Protestant servants, feeling that they were going to be more sober, more industrious, etc. They didn't think so much of the Irish. They wanted to get them better living, more industrious.
Now I'm going on my way to a Roman Catholic church where they keep the records, and I'll see if I can find John's birth date there.
You coming looking for your roots?
I am, yes. Thank you. Yes, I'm trying to trace my great-great-great-grandfather, who was John St. Ledger.
John St. Ledger.
Yeah.
Now, I have John St. Ledger here, born on the 15th of June, 1812.
Yes, that figures completely.
That's right.
Oh, God.
His dad, James, and his mother, Margaret Cody, they were from Ballyvool. I could show you where it is from out here. It's straight across the Nore River on the other side of the parish.
Really?
About 6 or 7 miles away from here.
It means that John St. Ledger was born a Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
And then he was sent to the charter school in New Ross.
In New Ross, yeah.
And from that minute onwards...
Yeah, he was reared as non-Catholic.
He was reared as Protestant.
Yeah.
So the conversion went over then. Happened then.
Good Lord. Now, will I show you something? Just a second. Now, here's the really old ones. Okay. Now, let me see if I can find it. The writing is... It's so faded, it's very...
Yeah, it's just faded.
Very difficult to find them.
Yeah, 15.
And here we are. Right? The way they put it down was John, for James St. Ledger and Peggy Cody. It was written there in 1812. Actually written down there in 1812. But there's the Townsend as it was spelled then.
What I've noticed with the St. Ledgers is that there's different spelling with us as well.
White Salingers, St. Ledgers.
So Leger
yeah,
and
see,
LED.
the priest writing this out.
Yes.
You know, he writes it into the book after he baptises them. And he hasn't a clue whether it's spelled L-E-G-E or L-E-D-G-E or... And he probably just doesn't want to embarrass them by asking him, how do you spell your name anyway? So he just writes down his guess at it. And the same, a new priest comes in and he baptises somebody a week after he arrives. And what's the town's name? Ballyvool. Not sure, V-O-O-L-E, why not? You know, and it might be... Because they're all Irish words transliterated into English.
Yes.
You know, all the Irish place names. You wouldn't know, you could be related to all sorts of crazy people.
Yes, you're right. I certainly could.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. What's Ballyvool like?
It's hill area, beautiful area, and you're looking down from the other side on the Nore Valley. If I had time, I would lead you up there today, but unfortunately, I've got a funeral this evening, and tomorrow morning, and the next morning.
Oh, goodness me.
All
You're
three
very busy.
different friends of mine, they've died in different places, so it's a bit
I'm sorry.
hectic. And a brother-in-law of mine who's 40 years ordained tomorrow, and we have a celebration for him, so it's a bit of a busy weekend.
Well, well, well. Gosh. The whole family so fervently have always believed that for, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, forever, we were Protestants. and we weren't. That's incredible. I can't wait to tell my mother. I'm desperate to get hold of my mother to tell her. Absolutely brilliant.
Amanda's close to tracking down her own family seat in the remote village of Ballyvool.
Hello. Hi.
They call me Dick around here.
Hello, Dick. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Nice to meet
lovely.
you. So tell me about these two houses then.
Well, what can I tell you? All I can tell you is the St. Ledgers lived here for about, or they were known locally as Salingers.
Salingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've discovered.
Yeah. And they lived in both houses for about 250 or 300 years.
Gracious.
Yeah.
I was trying to find out where John came from.
But do you know what his father's name or mother's name was?
His father was called James.
Yeah.
And his mother was called Margaret.
Margaret who?
Cody.
Yeah. Well, it was in this house then.
This house?
Yeah, the one that we live in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But it's great to see all this. Thank you for showing it to
Oh,
me.
no, that's no problem at all.
Thank you.
It's a long way from the grandeur of Doneraile Court. It turns out Amanda's family were poor Catholic potato farmers. In 1845, their lives were wrecked when blight destroyed the Irish potato harvest. The famine which followed killed almost 1 million people, and as many as 2 million more emigrated to escape its effects. John was one of the lucky ones. After he left the charter school as a Protestant, he was able to get a job as a steward on a famine ship, the Dunbrody. He used his position to secure safe passage for his family to England. Eventually his son, James St. Ledger, settled in Falmouth. Amanda's about to leave New Ross when she gets a call from her cousin Trevor. He's been continuing his research into Sirill's missing years. And following up from Sirill's death certificate, he's uncovered a brand new relative. Karen, Sirill's daughter, Amanda's cousin, was born in Liverpool in 1962. She still lives there, and Trevor's found a phone number.
Hello?
Hello, is that Karen?
It is.
Hi, my name's Amanda Redman. I'm Trevor's cousin. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. And I was wondering if it would be possible to come up and see you.
Of course, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, great.
I've got the house painted and everything ready for you.
Oh, that's really lovely. Oh, good. I'm so looking forward to seeing you. So
my heart's racing now, actually.
Yeah, mine too. Mine too. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, love.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
God, that's really upset me. Oh, God. Oh, that's an unexpected reaction. It'd be fascinating to see where Karen, Sirill's daughter, lives, and where he ended up, and where he died here. And I don't know what to expect. I'm quite nervous. I'm apprehensive about it, actually.
I can't believe this. Oh, we did. Oh my God. Oh, shit. Oh, God.
Oh, Karen.
Oh, it's so lovely to see.
And you. And you.
Oh, can I go sit down?
Yes, of course you can.
Go on. Oh, this is my daughter. And the other little one.
Hello.
The other
Hello.
babies in
What's
school.
your name? Lauren. Hello, Lauren. I'm Amanda.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, gorgeous. Hello.
They're up the wall, decorating at the moment.
I don't know what to say. I just stuck for words.
So you didn't know our existence, or I mean, what did you grow up knowing?
Not very much. He never spoke much about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he kept that side of it to himself, you know. It's, I don't know.
He just didn't want to talk about it?
Yeah, I suppose he did in a way, but I think it was it hurt him when he spoke up, because about, you know, his mum. That used to hurt him a lot, because he missed her.
Did he?
He missed her quite a lot, yeah. And he wasn't too fond on...
No,
yeah.
On my grandfather?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did he ever talk about my grandfather?
Yeah, he said he's seen things that he didn't like.
Did you not think it was odd when you were growing up that he didn't talk about all of that?
I did want to know a lot. You know, I asked him, I said, you know, I must have another side of the family.
Yeah.
I used to always ask him, where's my other nan? Where's my other nan? Where's my granddad? And he wouldn't say no. He just said, well, you have got family, but down south.
Has he said who his father is?
Never mentioned it as far as I know.
He's never said who his father is. Because this is the big mystery that we can't find.
Don't know.
It's very difficult to find photographs of him. You must have photographs.
We did, but my mum's house got broken into, and all the box with the photographs in was all taken, a lot. So we've got nothing of him at all.
You're joking.
Nothing, not one.
So how much did you actually see of him then when he was?
Well, as I said, he was away for 4 weeks and home for 4 weeks.
Oh, is that how? Oh, that's how
yeah,
it
was
worked.
that's just. Sometimes it was a little bit longer. It all depends where he was.
When did he retire from the Merchant Navy?
Oh God, it was about 6 years.
Before he died?
Yeah, before he died. Yeah, because it was through ill health that he left.
Oh, was it?
He was very ill. Yeah, he had bronchial asthma.
Oh, did he?
And bronchitis and all kinds. My dad died in my arms.
Did he?
Yeah, God, it was about 11:30 at night, and I was just rocking him, and the next minute he was gone.
You must have been devastated, were you?
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I'm going to tell you something now that I don't know how you'll feel about this. But your dad had another child.
Did he?
Yeah. Who would be your half-brother.
The children?
No.
Have you found him?
He died 6 years ago. Very young.
I didn't know nothing. What was his name?
Derek. And they didn't have any pictures of Sirill, of course.
He mustn't have been there for him. He was there for me, you see, wasn't he?
Will Inspector Sanders please contact the communication bureau?
Sirill was obviously leading, at one point, a double life with Hilda and Derek and Diane. And then up here. Incredible energy he must have had. But presumably he said, oh, right, well, I'm going away to sea now. To one or t'other. I think that whoever his father was something that neither he nor my grandmother, his mother, felt they would ever be able to divulge the name. There's certainly something that stopped them all from talking. Something big that we just can't seem to get to the bottom of. And probably never will now, they're all dead, so we'll never be able to find that out. Hello. Sunny down here. I'm a little bit nervous, actually.
Yes, I do.
All right.
You're right.
Lovely, so lovely. Oh, well, this is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see your reactions.
Mandy, darling, drink.
No one got it.
Thank you. Drink.
Right. One of the things that I found out that I think is absolutely extraordinary, everybody, is that we're Catholics.
Really?
What? And converted to Protestantism during the famine, and then came over on a famine ship to Falmouth, and that's why everyone ended up in Falmouth. Yeah.
Amanda's organised a party at her mother's house. She's bringing together the two sides of her divided family for the first time.
This is Val.
Hello, I'm Val St Ledger.
Lovely to see you, darling.
Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Mummy, this is Desmond.
Joan, darling, lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you too.
Amanda's brother. Amanda's brother, yeah. Lovely to meet you, sir. Yes, it's alike. It's alike. Yeah,
And this is Trevor's other daughter, Danny.
So nervous. Yeah, I'm shaking.
Just feeling the pool. We don't know what to say because we've never been anywhere like this. So.
It's your father. This is your Auntie Joan.
Hello, Karen. How lovely to see you. And meet you.
Don't worry about it. It's lovely to meet you, Karen. Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm fine.
Nice to meet you. Sorry.
You're Sirill daughter. How lovely to meet you. There's the name for it, isn't there?
What's that?
Little puppy.
Scousers.
Scousers. You're not a Scouser.
I'm a Scouser.
Are you a Scouser?
I'm proud of it.
Do you know what? I've never heard anyone saying that they disliked him at all, you know? It did look like a film star.
Well, Karen already knows, obviously, what her father looked like. You don't. We got his merchant seaman records. And they took some tracking down because of this whole thing about, which is like, okay. There he goes. That's your brother.
Jimmy was one. We just have a fair on the wall on occasion when we're down.
Oh, why was it all like that?
He always used to give us a couple of bob on the roundabout. Charming man.
Oh, I don't know. Are there more?
In the end, these family secrets
are awful, aren't they?
And Nanny never got to see. This is one of her great-granddaughters.
So sad, it really is. Because we wondered about him, didn't we, all our lives.
And that, there you go.